Hello and welcome to Baldur's Gate 3. Have to say that was a fun intro vid there. Quite enjoyed that. Now this game here I wasn't intending to play, but I got roped into running another 5e game out here in the real world. I thought I'd look to this for some ideas and inspiration and stuff to steal, as every good DM does. However, all my players I think are playing it, so what I can steal will be limited. Nevertheless, let's dive in. I was going to have this up on the channel last week, but every time I fired up OBS to record it, the accursed thing would crash. So I spent the weekend going through and changed which drive it was installed to and added an older version of OBS, and everything looks to be working now, so we will dive in. Alright, so for this campaign I thought I would play a Drow Cleric of Lolth. Cast out of Menzoberranzan after a failed coup to overthrow House Benray. She made her way to the surface and has lived amongst the citizens of Waterdeep, working at a tavern and burgling on the side. However, she remains a fanatic disciple of Lolth and hopes to accrue wealth and power and allies here on the surface to take back to the Underdark, storm Menzoberranzan, and claim the City of Spiders and Lolth's love as her own. So, Cleric, as I said, the cantrips, we are going to come in with Resistance, Guidance, and Thaumaturgy. We've got the War Domain, that'll give us heavy armor proficiency. Also gives us Shield of Faith and Divine Favor as spells. Took the soldier background for some bonuses to athletics and intimidation. The intimidation will pair up with the thaumaturgy or thaumaturgy, depending on how you pronounce it. I don't think anyone knows. It's one of them words, isn't it? The abilities, I switched these around a bit. We're going to take a +2 in strength. We also get proficiency with martial weapons with the War Domain. Hopefully pick us up a greatsword or something and flail away on the front lines. Probably not going to be going too much into wisdom for DC-based spellcasting. These skills we're proficient in athletics and intimidation. We get perception thanks to being a mighty drow. And with the cleric we're taking insight and medicine. For these spells we're going to take bless, that will up our to hit a bit. Then we've got cure wounds, healing word, and inflict wounds as a damaging spell on the side. I've been through and dressed her up already. She's dyed her normally white drow hair to try and fit in more on the surface. This character builder I thought was very sort of 2010. You get a really limited selection of voices. Pick from a face that you can't scale the ears or adjust the eyes or nose or cheekbones. Just really weak. Very little options for that. You get some tattoo options. A lot of them pretty good if you want to play like a late 80s, early 90s professional wrestler. Apart from that, not really much of use. We got some piercings. Eyes, choice of color. Not even size or scale, pupils or anything. We get some eyeliner and some lipstick. No sparkly like blush or anything. It's just very lacking. Good choice of hair. Colors not too bad. And no options for facial hair on a lady. I don't know, I just thought this was really bad for a modern day RPG game. You look at games like Black Desert Online, they sort of set the standard for what you want, where you can scale and move everything around. I give this a 3 out of 10. Let's get into the game, however. Oh, she needs a name. Alright, for a name, we're going to go with Kiara of House Ventari, soon to be the premier house in Menzoberranzan, if all goes to plan. Now, yeah, alright voice. We have to get ourselves some sort of space boyfriend here. Not sure how this fits into the game. I've messed around a bit at the start, but I haven't got in particularly far and don't really know how all this ties in. Anyway, let's get one of these. Alright, so we'll choose this guy here. On our way up from Menzerbransen, we encountered a pack of deep gnomes. This one here, the only survivor. We have branded him with the runes of House Vintari. And in doing so, we've bound his life to ours so that if we die, he dies. That should keep him in line. Apart from that, he follows us around, carries our bags. This cutscene, I've had to watch this like 8 times trying to get the thing recording properly. This, I don't know, it's about 20 minutes too long, in my opinion. I don't know which city this is they're attacking here. It doesn't look to be Waterdeep, because I don't think Waterdeep has the big river running through the centre of it. All right, so while that... Oh, all right, girl. While that cutscene there was playing, I took the time to Google which city it was and studying the maps of the Forgotten Realms. I have in a couple of books next to me. It looks like Neverwinter. The only major city with a river running through it. Now, this tutorial area here, super boring. If you haven't seen anyone else play the game, you can watch them because I'm not doing it. It's basically just a way to introduce you to a couple of characters. And quite frankly, I wish that they would include an option to skip this and just awaken on the beach, because this is an awful waste of 15 minutes. Here comes the space orc.
Abomination. This is your end.
I really don't understand the move to make Gith Yankee the major protagonists in the campaign.
Visions rush past. A dragon's wing, a silver sword, and a
not one of the core races of 5th edition.
Woman's eyes.
Not really ever known on Forgotten Realms at all. Just
what is this?
a weird choice to have in.
Skvar, you are no thrall.
But out here it's just all over the place, isn't it?
Together, we might survive.
Yours hangs and moves sort of normal. Look at ours. We've got some dynamic wind behind us blowing, do we? What do you suggest, girl?
First, we exterminate the imps. Then we find the helm and take control of the ship. We will address the matter of a cure for this infection once we reach the material plane.
All right. I really dislike this tutorial. It doesn't really give you a choice. You get one major choice, which is let a character die. However, I'm trying to play a sort of villainous drow character. So the one character we had a chance to let die is the one character I actually want in my party. So it makes it sort of weird. That was a miss. I hate these imps as well. They got a really weird hitbox. Keep going, like, click there to target them. We're clearly within the circle aiming at them, but no, you have to be way up here.
Come on, can't stay idle.
And not that it's a difficult fight or anything, just shows my incompetence to the world, which annoys me every time. Right, let's use our special war cleric domain ability there with a second swing. Dispatch the filthy imp. Steal his axe that he was carrying for whatever reason. Oh, Lizelle there, surrounded by the filthy things. An impressive strike, and let's use our pommel strike on this guy. Good follow-up.
Can't even catch my breath.
Oop, there we go. Nearly did it again. There we go, we strike down the imps.
You proved surprisingly adequate in battle. Now, to the helm.
Right, adequate is a compliment I will take.
Moving in.
Loot all the bodies as we go. We can sell it all off for gold later, as adventurers want to do.
We need to get out before it's too late. I'll give it a shot.
Come on, Lizelle, you're lagging behind.
Istik, back! Touch nothing without knowing its purpose.
Right, let's mash some buttons just to annoy her.
Psionic energy radiates from the prisoners.
Does make the
They do not react.
tutorial here a bit longer if we play with all the buttons, just really annoying her.
Fool!
Good stuff. Right. You got any treasure? Candle and $1. Right, here's the other girl we can rescue. I'm probably only going to do maybe one or two of these side companions quests as we go through. That'll help increase replayability. as we focus on the others. This campaign playing a pretty sort of evil drow as we go. And this will be the major sidekick I want.
You! Get me out of this damn thing!
But unfortunately we have to do the nice thing and rescue her. Which is totally not what I would do from a roleplay perspective. Anyway, back to the Gith. They are pretty much an evil race who spend their time conquering planets. I don't know why they're sort of being made into the heroes of this.
But for what?
Especially when I don't think 5e really has any
Rain in a jar.
rules for psionics or anything, which is the main highlight of the Gith. I think there's some stuff in Spelljammer perhaps, but I haven't read the book. It's just sitting in the bookshelf behind me. Anyway, seems a weird choice with all the things that there is to pick from in Forgotten Realms. They would go with the Gith. I don't know whether they're trying to get the sci-fi crowd and make the game a bit less fantasy to expand the audience.
Dormant. The console hums to life.
Alright, let's get her out.
Suddenly you
Finish
feel
this
hideous
tutorial
swirl
area and then get into the game proper.
The parasite. Then discomfort fades and another sensation washes over you. Connection. Authority.
Let's use our magic powers to open the pod.
You feel the biomechanical brain of the console process your command and yield to it. A shiver runs across your mind. You feel sated.
At last. I thought that damn thing was going to be my coffin. Thank you.
Your mind lurches into her thoughts. Her gratitude is mixed with wariness because you have a Gith with you.
You keep dangerous company.
I wouldn't keep her if I had a choice.
Fair point. Looks like there's plenty of fighting ahead. Let me come with you. We can get off this ship and watch each other's backs along the way.
Alright, let's going.
Shadowheart. One moment.
I wish she had a proper name. So sad that they let like, I don't know, a 14-year-old name her.
We've wasted enough time already.
She's right. Lead on.
Right, let's get out of here.
Needs a key.
Oh, I thought I picked up the key for that lockbox, but I had not. It's fine. We don't need any free healing. Let's go.
We are nearing the helm. Once inside, do as I say.
Oh, you do as I
You
say.
in charge. I'll trust my own judgment.
Well said.
Cane yank.
I don't think you can say that on television, love. Right. Yes, that's the way. Feast upon him. Defeat that cool horned devil, suck his brains out, and then get beaten up by these CR quarter imps. That's such an embarrassing way for a mighty Illithid to go out.
Do it. We will deal with the Geich after we escape.
This thing's falling fast. Got to right it.
Right, let's go. Guiding bolt out there with Shadowheart. Very nice.
I am fury. I am death.
Let's come. Chop this big thing. Nice. Well done, Lizelle. Now, Kira, don't embarrass yourself. Come forward and slap the imp.
Think you can take me on?
Yes. Well done. Everyone just one-shot the enemy there. Let's use dash. Just get out of here. Come on. I hate the way you have to choose the ability here, then confirm it, and then move.
I am fury. I am death. Taking position.
Seems a lot of unnecessary clicking.
These boots have seen everything.
Alright. Come on, Shadowheart. Let's go.
Hurry! Before they strike!
Oh, I'm trying to target that imp. Just highlight circle. There he is.
I will ascend. Taking position.
Oh, they're outside your shooting range. Just dash forward here with Lizelle. Worst thing about starting with the 8 decks is just the very slow with the turn order. We don't have any sort of bow or anything. Let's go. Blast was use our spells here along the way. Click, click, click.
Nearly out of sky. It's now or never.
Nicely done, Shadowheart. Oh, we don't have enough move to get there with Lizelle. Let's push forward. Just, whoop. I was going to say come with a bow, but she's... I really wish it wouldn't let you attack nothing. Right, let's come forward. We've got no options for a ranged attack here. Let the piggy come to us.
Time to strike.
So we're gonna miss from Shadowheart. And let's save the day.
The helm's alien transponder. You made it in time.
Alright, so we are finally down. I think this is the part where the game should really start without that whole tutorial bit. Where are we?
The chaos of the crash site confuses the landscape. You'll need to find a settlement or landmark, and you'll need to do it quickly. The tadpole is a death sentence, and the clock is ticking. You need a cure.
Alright, so we're going to push on here and explore the beach. I'm going to loot some corpses on the way. Oh, here's another corpse. Ooh, let's steal her treasure. I do know this starting bit before you reach town quite well due to trying to record this and suffering through consistent crashes. But I'll approach it like I don't.
What are you doing?
I'm checking if you're alive.
Yes. Thank you for the concern. And speaking of, how are we alive?
I was hoping you might know that.
I remember the ship. I remember falling. Then nothing.
Know where we are?
I don't recognize this place. But anything's an improvement on where we just came from. First things first, we need supplies, shelter, and most of all, a healer. We might have escaped, but we still have these little monsters in our heads.
Indeed. You want to stay together?
We need each other, and we both know what's at stake. Can't think of better company.
Alright, let's get moving.
One thing, just before we go. I wanted to thank you again for freeing me. It would have been all too easy for you to run right past my pod.
Well, I wanted to.
I'll remember that. Lead the way.
Wait until next campaign where I'm playing a good guy and then I'll just let you die because I won't want you because you're sort of evilish. Steal some treasures here. I don't know. It's a weird choice having you choose to rescue her or let her die. All sorts of grasses and plants, the things to pick up to make herbal remedies. I won't be messing around too much with that. I don't like survival games and all the crafting. It's just pointless busy work. Crafting stuff is the domain of the NPC. Not for the glorious hero of the story. If the glorious hero is going to craft everything and do the adventure, the economy is going to collapse. Right, there's a door up here that we can't open.
This does.
Oh, let me in.
Open easily. Maybe there's another entrance.
Quick teleport point. Now we sort of gather up the NPCs and get into the game once we've sort of established a party.
More of those wretched things.
I got in trouble when I was first playing the a game here. I was doing it on stream and someone was getting very annoyed that I wasn't clicking on everything and going everywhere and reading things and doing everything. But I won't name them to embarrass them in this video. Now, let's continue to explore this beachy. Right, here come the brain monsters.
Vicious filth. Best keep some distance or this will be a short fight.
Right, let's buff us up with Shield of Faith. And we might as well just burn through our early spell. What's the chance at with Firebolt? 80%. Do that. 2. hardly worth it. Are we actually in the fire there? I can't tell. Like a no. Use our ability for extra attack. Still left him alive, which is disappointing. But good enough. Well done, Kira. Let's push up. Get a melee attack on this Devourer. Oh, and fail. Strike the one in the middle, and then we can use our secondary attack here. Finish him off. Very good. Come on, girl. Here we go. One more hit to finish him. Surely, Shadow Heart. Nope. Absolutely worthless. There we go. We gain enough experience to level. Hurrah! The excitements of level 2. Alright, so we get our Turn Undead. Get one channel divinity to power the Turn Undead. And you gain a 10 bonus to your attack roll. That's with Guided Strike, okay? And our spells, we're sticking with the same assortment, though let's get rid of protection from good and evil. And I think we'll take Guiding Bolt as well. And Shadow Heart, what have you got? Exactly the same being a cleric. Although you get your Invoke Duplicity. Distract your enemies with an illusion. Within 3 meters of the illusion, attack rolls have advantage. Nice. And the prepared spells you've got pretty much our loadout.
What path lies before me? Let's have a look. Anything of use?
Get a rapier there, which is probably a good addition for us. We are proficient with them because we are both a drow. And because we get the martial weapon proficiency. Let's put that on. Can you use a short sword?
Can't afford to stay idle.
No, okay, you don't get short sword proficiency, that's fine. I don't play a lot of 5e, so the proficiencies and things I always forget about.
What might you be hiding?
Grab some loot. And we got this fella hiding up here. It took me ages to find this guy.
Hurry.
I always went the other way through that spaceship and never thought to look up here. And then this where this guy was hiding.
In the grass. You can kill it, can't you? Like you killed the others?
I sure can, mate.
There. Can you see it?
Just
a little
dung
piggy.
boar. You're relieved until you see the flash of a dagger.
This is a robbery. You're off to a bad start, elf.
I just need information. I saw you scuttling about on the ship.
Scuttling's always a good term.
Those tentacles. Ah!
Your mind twists. You're looking out of unfamiliar eyes, prowling dark, busy streets. You try to hold the memory, but it fades to the worm. The light, the fear.
What was that? What's going on?
I have no idea, mate.
It's those tentacled monsters. Whatever they did, whatever they put in us, just created a connection. They took you too. I saw it during whatever just happened. And to think, I was ready to decorate the ground with your innards. Apologies.
I would have done the same if our roles were reversed.
A kindred spirit. My name's Astarion. I was in Baldur's Gate when those beasts snatched me.
We don't really have a story. I'll tell them about my life in the Underdark. That I'm looking for allies to take on House Benray. What say you?
My. You've been busy. So, did you learn anything about these worms while wandering the ship?
You know as much as I do.
I suppose it's not exactly common knowledge. These worms are already affecting me. I can feel it. Now, what to do about it?
We can start by traveling together. Better odds, I'd say.
I was ready to go this alone, but maybe sticking with the herd isn't such a bad idea. And anyone that can crash a mind flayer ship and walk away seems like a good person to know. All right. I accept. Lead on.
All right. So his was the other story I was considering doing this playthrough. You get nothing at level 2. That's boring.
Onward, ever onward.
There, a mind flayer.
And I think at some point we can get some sort of generic NPCs to fill out the roster.
Monster. This is the thing that
So unless
abducted you.
one of the-
It could end its life here and now, if only you didn't feel compassion.
All right, hold on. So,
Compassion.
oh, shut up. Right, let's give in to the
Poor
emotion.
creature is on the brink of death, but there's still time. You'd give your life to save it, to nurse it back to health.
Sure
But
would.
then the feeling slips. The creature's mind seems to focus elsewhere.
What do you lose, Shadowheart?
The monster
free.
lies exhausted, defeated. Its eyes, wet orange pearls, radiate malice.
Close those eyes forever. Yeah, stop him. That's the spirit. Very good. You should toss a little heal on yourself. Let's take over as Kira here.
These boots have seen everything.
Up Looter's corpse, I guess. So I was saying, I don't know. I think there's still 2 or 3 of the companions I have not met. So if any of them turn out to be particularly evil, we might throw them in the roster. And then next campaign, I'll do it like a nerd campaign. Tread the path of light and justice and blech. Blech. All those things you never want to do in a role-playing game. Gone round in a circle. Failed our navigation rolls. Right, that's the path I was looking for.
What's going on with that room?
over there.
You approach the sigil on the stone. Magic glitters and swirls from it erratically, as if malfunctioning.
Well, let's touch it. Be the adventurer.
A hand? Anyone?
Let's use some wisdom. Let flow some words of prayer to soothe the sigil's magic. Behold the power of Lolth. Control the weave, like you weave webs, etc.
Whatever you're doing is working wonders. Now a quick little pull should do the trick.
Oh, the amount of time she's heard that in the taverns of Waterdeep.
Hello. I'm Gale of Waterdeep. Apologies. I'm usually better at this.
At not wasting the time of passing adventurers, I certainly hope so.
Apologies. I didn't exactly memorize my cephalopodian banishment spells last night. Wasn't the best prepared for an attack by squid. Say, but I know you, don't I? In a manner of speaking. You were on the Norse Lloyd as well.
You were there? I don't trust you.
Whoa, easy does it. You really, really don't want to do that. Not a threat. Just an observation.
And why would I really not want to attack you?
10 years of bad luck if you kill a wizard. Why take the risk?
I lived for several hundred years. 10 years is nothing.
Much obliged. Besides, I suspect the real villain here is one we have in common. Back on the ship, you two were on the receiving end of a rather unwelcome insertion in the ocular region. Were you not?
Go on.
The insertee we speak of, this parasite? Are you aware that after a period of excruciating gestation, it will turn us into mind flayers? It's a process known as ceramorphosis, and let me assure you, it is to be avoided. You don't happen to be a cleric by any chance, do you? A doctor?
I am a cleric.
Surgeon? Uncannily adroit with a knitting needle?
I'll give it a go.
You seem to know enough about our condition to realize it's beyond most clerics' skills.
Most, no doubt, but I find myself hoping to be in the presence of the few. You don't happen to be one of them.
I am a cleric indeed, but I'm afraid the power to remove this parasite eludes me.
As we've established, few enough can. It's not exactly a common affliction. We're most certainly going to need a healer, and soon, too. How about we lend each other a helping hand once more and look for a healer together?
Sounds like a plan.
Most excellent. Parasite shared is a parasite halved, or something to that effect. Oh, but before you think you're about to embark on a journey with most ill-mannered a man, thank you for pulling me out of that stone. It was an act of foresighted kindness, I assure you. For I have the feeling ample opportunities will present themselves for me to return the favor.
Well, I don't know about that, buddy. Smug, comedic relief wizard really fits my party aesthetic. But I will take you to camp and enslave you at a later date. Now, I was also considering playing a wizard, but I had a look at the class features for wizard. They are so boring. You better hope they get something at later levels, because there's not even a plus to spell DCs or anything. Any of the bonuses a wizard usually gets to set them apart from a sorcerer. We get sculpt spells. gain a modest amount of hit points if you kill something using a spell. Create water is a classic. That's so bad. I just can't see myself ever playing a wizard in the game if it's the sort of carry on you get. Anyway, I think we might take divination. It's got the portent dice, which sound about the most interesting of the options. I won't go through the rest because quite dull. Spells for our friend. Let's go with magic missile. Whoop, always a classic first level option. And let's take shield as well. Another classic first level option. And prepared spells, we've got mage armor, witch bolt, sleep, thunderwave, and grease. Let's get rid of thunderwave and sleep. We'll go magic missile, shield.
Your desire.
Buff yourself some
Right.
mage armor and we'll set off.
So that's progress. Never wanted the easy path.
I'm just going to head round to the ruins that are right here so we can slaughter our way through there, get some good fast XP. And then we'll be at the town, and past the town I'm not all too familiar with things. So the game should hopefully be a bit more exciting there, and I will be a lot less sarcastic and angry with my dialogue. Alright, so I know we can drop this rope here and kill these guys outright, which is a good play.
Don't touch me.
So let's do this. We could talk our way out of it and convince them to go, but why do that when there's a perfectly good ambush available? So, rolling first is Shadowheart. We can push forward. There are filthy evil robbers either side.
Heading there.
Let's come forward, and I think they're going to be out of spell range, are they? Let's go resistance on yourself.
Shall we cut and run?
Let's get our rogue forward.
Let me recite their demise.
Bring the wizard up the side. Try to avoid those
Please, Mistra.
twisting vines there that will constrict you if you walk in. Oh, we just picked up the wizard. He's fallen asleep. All right, Kira, let's use dash. We're going to move forward.
Swift as my feet can carry me.
And buff yourself with divine favor on the way. Alright, Shadowheart, from here, can you hit this girl with guiding bolt?
Need some support.
What? Did I not cast guiding bolt there? Well, I was not expecting that. Let's go. Cast that on you. You'll stop concentrating on your shield of faith up there. Very good. I'm sure I clicked guiding bolt, didn't I?
Let's turn someone inside out.
Let's get the idiot here coming forward. Can you get your bow on her? Nicely done, and let's move forward.
Nicely.
Oh, we've lost our divine favor there, and we've been crippled, which is really annoying. Let's go with healing word. Poke him for 5. I like that. Now we don't have a spell slot available for a guiding bolt. Use firebolt, missing.
Dance macabre.
Are you able to push up here and then get a shot on her? Shoot her in the back. Nicely done. Then you can go raid her corpse. Piercing strike. Let's use our 14 dice. Force him to miss. Let's use our guided strike. Okay, go. Do it. Enter. Choose how to react. I've chosen this. Tick. Do it. Use that. Okay, so for whatever reason our guided strike there would not go off. Super weird. Let's have Shadow Heart to make her way around.
Go for the throat.
Good. Come up here and get some treasures. And then you should be able to fire down on this guy. Nicely done, team. Loot their bodies.
Here, I hope.
A long sword that might be better than our rapier. Oh, we get a shovel, another long sword, some scale mail, very good. What is the damage on a long sword in one hand? Okay, 4 to 11, same as the rapier, but less style points. I think we're going to stick with the rapier. With some medium armor, I think that's going to match what you've got. Correct? A very awkward way to sort of do it, because you'll switch to the character to compare the gear. There you go. It looks a lot worse, which is disappointing. I wish there was an armor skin system so you could use these better looking starting armors than the weird stuff you end up picking up. A leather armor? Do you want leather armor, Mr. Rogue? Got pattern there. Does one give disadvantage on stealth, or is it exactly the same? It's exactly the same. How's it look? Awful. Alright, short sword. I think you can use a short sword. And we'll give you a dagger in the offhand as well. Very good. Let's get out of here and push on. Oh, I want Kira in charge.
No, never mind. No traps, please.
Oh, the idiot rogues walked into the vines there. I'll serve you right, rogue.
Should mind my step. Better not be cursed.
What do you give a book? Everything all right out there?
Alright, so we can use our deception or our performance. Let's use our performance. Now, we can use thaumaturgy here. And guidance. We can't use them both. We can choose one or the other. There we go. We can use her guidance and our thaumaturgy. Nice.
You sound a bit shaken, boss. Hang on while I find the key.
All right, people, get ready to knife him.
Who the hell's... You're dead!
Right, so we start with Asterion here. He is to weapon fighting. Very good. We get some good surprise damage there. Shadow Heart, make your way around.
May the dice roll in my favor.
Use the Array of Frost. It's a two-hit roll rather than something with a save. Very nice.
To push my luck again.
And Kira, finish him off. Run him through. Very good. Nice, we get another short sword. We get the key. Actually give Asterion that short sword there so we can double up. Slightly more damage than the dagger.
Don't waste a step. Don't mind if I do.
We'll steal their lunch in good old-fashioned gaming tradition.
I'm exhausted. Better find somewhere to camp soon.
We'll camp soon, people. Big wheel of cheese first. There we go. That's the important things. Let's move on.
A presence here. A power. The patron god of this place?
Whoever that even is. No intact symbols here.
Alright,
no
and now
dedications.
there is a
Nothing.
pile of things to do. Let's push forward with the rogue Asterion. Use our firebolt. I know there's explosive barrels here that we can blow up. Then let's break line of sight with you.
Swords meet sorcery.
And let's bring our wizard forward. Let's use Ray of Frost. We'll try and pick off this guy here with a big club. Miss, that's disappointing. Back we go, stay out of the way. Ranger firing in, they got a wizard here at the back. Caught fire. Alright, let's bring Shadow Heart forward. You've got a shield, you should be pretty fine on the front lines. Try and take out their wizard. Oh.
Still on my feet.
Okay, I'm not concentrating on any spells at the moment, so let's go Shield of Faith. March forward.
The gods are watching me.
Be the front line, Kira. Okay, so they got a barbarian there flailing away. Let's bring a Asterion in. Nice. Back off. Whoops. I always forget you can engage with multiple people.
Victory is assured.
Let's bring. Hey, did you come in? No. Get in the room. Now, I would like you pick off this wizard at the back. Nicely done. Right, Asterion has been ensnared.
I won't give in.
Oh, that's disappointing. Alright, so here is our rogue. Can we get forward and hit this guy? He can, but still can't finish him off. He's got 2 HP remaining. I honestly wish there was a way to hide how much HP they got remaining. Let's start stacking some damage back here. Alright, he's cowardly moved out of the way. That guy dies screaming in flames. Very good. Push forward, start looting their corpses. Where's the next bodies? They're all up there.
Have to keep going.
Never a dull moment. Very well.
Can't quite get anywhere to do anything about him.
Guessing.
Might be able to sneak an arrow through the door, can we? Trying to target him. Yeah, we can't get around to do it. Let's instead use the movement to just back off. Hopefully he'll come forward.
No gloom, all doom. Let's light them up.
Can we use Mage Hand here? What I want to do is close this door. I'll do it right away with an action. I don't think we can. Whoops. Sorry, in turn.
With the weave.
Right, so the Mage Hand doesn't get an action straight away. Pretty much, whoops, useless what I wanted to do. Let's come forward. Go, they die screaming as well. Fantastic. Let's loot their corpses. Alright, now everyone's having a whinge about being tired. I always find it weird that we can actually camp in these dungeon areas like this. Yet I expect to have to leave in most games, but so be it, it's fine. Now let's do our chat to everyone around. My god has granted me the gifts of magic.
Oh, I do apologize. I meant to ask, are you studied in magic? Namely, are you a wizard?
Did you waste time studying instead of just asking a god for superpowers? What a loser.
There is a matter I'd like to seek advice on from a master.
Loser. Right. Go. Who's next? You.
Have a word.
So, we've picked up a wizard who managed to get stuck in his own portal. Hardly a promising introduction.
Tell me about yourself.
What's to tell? I'm a magistrate back in the city. It's all rather tedious.
All right, then I won't ask again. Goodbye.
I've heard you can't get blood from a stone, but apparently you can get a wizard from one. Gale seems interesting.
Does he? What's that thing you got?
Story. None that you're entitled to hear, anyway. Just forget you ever saw it.
What do you think of all that's happened so
We haven't
far?
gone all that far yet. What are you referring to exactly?
What will you do if we actually manage to remove them?
I suppose we'd go our separate ways. Not a slight on your company, of course.
Where would you go?
Home. Baldur's Gate. There's someone waiting for me there. Someone I have to reach. As soon as possible.
Sounds like you have got a boyfriend.
Let's just say it's a very personal, very private acquaintance.
Secret boyfriend. How am I doing?
I must admit, you've been a surprise. And not an unpleasant one. Kindred spirits are few and far between for me. Besides, you saved my life aboard the Nautiloid. How can I do anything but sing your praises?
Right, you owe me. You want to get to know me?
Mystery. No harm in a little mystery, don't you think?
Well, if you're not comfortable, I won't press you.
Thank you. I'm sure we'll get along perfectly well.
I hate it if everyone then decides to have another chat. Alright.
Go to hell.
Watch your damn mouth.
Hold your horses. Just poorly making a point.
Go to hell. An everyday expression. So trivial it's almost meaningless. But we've seen hell. It's real. And it isn't trivial.
What's up?
Devils, dragons, mind flayers. They used to be abstracts. Pictures on a piece of paper.
It did not.
What a difference a day makes. Now we have tadpoles slithering through our heads like carnivorous feti. That's
Such
not
weird
abstract.
dialogue from him. You studied magic in the city of Waterdeep. You would have studied with people who had imp and quasit familiars that you know would have come from the hells. You know the gods are a real thing. They give people power in the world. 5 years before this would be set, I assume this takes place about 1490. You would have heard that the city of Neverwinter was attacked by an army of dragons. They're not abstract things. They're real things in the world. Saying they're abstract things makes me think you're some sort of interdimensional traveller from Earth or something. There's such a weird bit of dialogue from this guy. Brooding will get us nowhere.
This ballet of flames invites reflection. But you're right. Let's be up with the lark. Find a healer before the wee one gets hungry.
It's so strange. I don't know who wrote that for him, but it's it so does not fit within the world at all.
What were you two talking about?
Your boyfriend. What do you mean?
You and Gale.
We were discussing the next steps.
I see. I'd be careful with Gale.
You don't trust him?
He's a wizard. All they care about is power. Let's
That's what
hope
I
we
care about
rapidly
as well.
find a healer. You seem reliable. I think you know how important it is that we find someone who can cure us. Best if we focus on that.
It's late. We can talk about this in the morning.
We did just talk about it. Let's rest.
She's so bitchy. I'm gonna have a great adventure with her. Right.
The dark is familiar, but not comforting. It is a struggle to sink into your trance, weaving together memory, ambition, and purpose. The vision in your mind is simple. A stone altar to Lolth, the knife upon it bloody with sacrifice. Fire spills across your thoughts. Dragon's breath. The tadpole slithers, twisting deeper into your skull. Your head is about to burst. The memory consumes your mind, corrupting the trance.
All Alright, let's use our drow ability. Let the pain claim you.
Hell surrounds you, flames licking at your body. The tadpole in your head convulses. Agony bursts behind your eyes, and the whole world goes dark.
Alright, let's push on. We'll finish up this temple area and then probably call it end the video. I don't know how long it's been recording for. But as the old saying goes, who cares? Just make videos. It's whoop, I think we're going the wrong way. Looks very nice there with the light coming down, doesn't it? Oh, there's a book thing over here, the Unclaimed. I'm not going to go through and read all the books. I've played in Forgotten Realms enough that I know most of the lore.
What's that?
Lever here that opens the back door.
Anything of use?
Gonna pick up all the junk here so it's something to sell for a bit of cash once we do get to a civilized town. Oh, don't you close that door, love. I saw you. Right, so let's keep ploughing on, speeding through this early stage of the game. Right, now I know this place here is filled with traps, so we're going to use a rogue here, Mr. Asterion, to split you off from the party. No, I've clicked on it, the wrong person. This menu here I always find to be real unresponsive. No, just go that way, you stupid girl. Sometimes you can click and select someone. Other times you click like that. Click, 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 click.
At the ready.
There we go.
Please.
What are you doing going that way, mate?
This place
Supposed to be
is more
going up there.
dangerous than I thought.
Click, click. It's so long to get it to respond to switch characters. Very good. Right, we can take the loot there. And I think that's all we need. So let's push on. Switch back to Kira, get the group together.
If not over, then through. Something good here, I hope. Armed scribes.
Well, first time I played through this area, we managed not to spot the lever to open the door.
I wonder what was so subversive about their words.
I missed out on all the stuff down here. Which is quite good. I do like a game where you can miss stuff and not be able to do everything.
Let's see.
This book is far lighter than it should be with such a massive lock.
Let's use our divinity. Give us some guidance, Shadowheart. Only a little guidance, but it's enough.
As the lock opens, a loose page comes with it. Magic pulses from the parchment. What was once script is now an obliterated scrawl. You have a sense these are names, a list. But of what?
Use our religion. We're not very good at it. Luckily, we are good enough.
Gods. These are the names of gods, once lost but now restored after the Second Sundering. Entire pantheons have dwindled and been reborn.
Failed an investigation.
Silently recorded by this book.
Alright, Gale is inspired.
Let's have a look.
A ray of enfeeblement, how exciting. Right, we'll just quickly finish off this area. I can't wait until I'm up to the part of the game where I've got no idea what's going on, which is not too far away.
This must be the god they worshipped here. Can't say I recognize him.
Something over there.
Oh no, here come the spooky monsters.
Hells. Something just woke up down here.
Alright, let's get Asterion come forward.
Let them come.
Can
The
you
darkness can be to our
jump up
advantage.
top? Yes, we can all see in the dark apart from the wizard there. Hey, good work.
Unleash me.
Let's push our way forward a bit. Go magic missile. Focus on, well, this guy here. He's the only one in range. Back off.
What should I do?
Shadowheart, you can push forward. Blame this guy up here. 40% to hit is so bad. What about guiding bolt? Will it have a better chance? 55. Not great, is it? Luckily, good enough. Okay, let's move forward with Kira.
Breathe deep and move.
I'm gonna go bless here. Bless yourself. And Shadowheart and our rogue. The wizard gets no blessings from Kira. And can't concentrate on anything else, so we are fine in turn. Yes, I'd prefer not to be hit by that. Asterion gets clipped with a ray of frost. That's going to slow him down. And silence. It's fine. Filthy jerk. Okay, that slow there was devastating for you after you use our bow for this. Good. How far can you jump? Tiny bit. It all helps.
I speak, they burn.
We are currently in a circle of silence. Let's push our way out. You've got 1 health left. Surely Kira can take him down. Oh, Witch Bolt. 10 health, 10 health. 10 health. These guys are not too strong.
What's the plan? Your time has come.
Good work. Push out. Try and draw fire away from Asterion there so he can keep concentrating on his Witch Bolt.
What path lies before me?
Okay, good damage there. Clipped with a ray of frost again. We want to keep our movement speed up so we can close the gaps to these guys.
With pleasure.
Work Asterion.
Tale for the ages.
Let's activate your Witch Bolt. 7 damage finishes him off.
Let's finish this.
Fire bolt up on this guy here. Got a chance to hit. Come on, I can see it for a second. There it is. Path is interrupted. We don't have enough movement to get up there. Can we get anything on him? No.
Got to press on.
We just can't get anything. Silence the jerk move. Let's push forward here with Kira.
With haste.
Too far away now. Alright, Asterion, let's make your way forward. Is he within bow range there? Yes, but we cannot target him.
Battle of wits.
They are a battle of wits indeed. They are far better at using these line of sight blockers than I am. Can we hit him? Oh, just out of range.
In striking distance.
Close in, we can sneak this around corners though. There we go.
They didn't want to surrender their valuables, even after death.
Well done, team.
They're unthinking
Loot their corpses.
cadavers. I may as well feel sorry for a breadbasket.
What's in here? Have to keep going. Open up. A lot of effort.
Let's go meet our friend, the spooky skeleton.
So he has spoken, and so thou standest before me. Right, as always.
Sounds a lot
What
like
a curious way
Charles
to
Dance doing the voice, doesn't it? That very sort of
Now,
English stage
I
actory
have a
voice
question for thee.
with a bit of reverb to give it that real Dark Souls feel.
Mortal's life.
So he has spoken. What he are you talking
An
about?
arbiter of certain matters. But that is not important now. Wilt thou answer my question?
Ask away.
So, I ask again, what is the worth of a single mortal life?
Life only has value where Lolth decrees it.
What an imbalance. Very well. I am satisfied.
As you should be.
We have met, and I know thy face. We will see each other again at the proper time and place. Farewell.
Farewell.
As it be.
Got a Speak with Dead necklace. Very good. Alright, let's get ourselves out of here. The chest over here to loot. God, big money. 3 scrolls of protection from good and evil. All right, a classic trip to the tombs. All right, so we'll call an end to the video there. Join me next time as we push on to the Tiefling village and then off into the unknown. Until then, I've been Mr. Gruffle. This has been Baldur's Gate 3.